I kind of feel that most of the time the game is actually very quiet, isn't it? For a while, I simply wait in front of the altar. 5 minutes turn into 10, which turn into 20. At this point, I'm pacing around the candles, wondering where he is. Didn't he say he might have some information today? Curiosity and boredom take me to the back of the church, where I've seen ornate doorways lead to who knows where. Maybe they are his chambers? That's when I hear it. The muffled shouts. The left door is slightly ajar, and I peek past it as discreetly as I can muster. I finally catch a glimpse of Cyrus. And he's not alone. There's a strained tension in the air, one far more prominent than yesterday, and it dawns upon me as I lean further against the wall that he's genuinely angry. The usual smooth, silken tone of his voice is raised towards the person in front of him. I don't know who it is, but they have their hands raised defensively, and their own words come out with much difficulty. Do better, I promise, please, just give me time. That is not good enough. The venomous hiss makes me jump. I never expected to hear this kind of anger coming from a priest of all people, on holy ground no less. I can't speed up the process, not anymore. They'll be onto me. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Show me that you're sorry. A shiver runs down my spine. What is happening right now? Cyrus expectantly hands the person in front of him something that gleams in the candlelight, pale and deadly. It's a blade. My body immediately tenses at the sight, and my heartbeat skyrockets. I have to do something. Is it even safe to interfere? Shit, what do I do? Confront Cyrus, walk away. I prefer it like that. I can't move. I'm too paralyzed by the sight in front of me. Sometimes it's not that, it's I don't know how to put it. I am actually the person that, like, imagine, and it happened to me quite a lot of times. I am actually the person that I react very fast to things. It happened to me a lot of times, which is like people falling from the bus when they're trying to get out or some. I am like that person that reacts. I just react. I just go there and I react. I'm kind of like that. And I had like a ton of situations like that, where I see like everyone just stops and freezes, and I am the person that just reacts. But the thing is, sometimes I kind of feel like that thing, which is like, for instance, in here, I'm like, I don't know what is the situation. Okay, so I am going to interfere into a situation where, yes, there is like a life and death kind of thing going on in here, and yes, I should interfere because of that. But at the same time, it's more like my logical mind telling me, but I don't actually have an idea what's going on in here, and I'm just going to be that person that might actually even turn the situation into a more chaotic one when I don't even have like a clue of what's going on in here, you know. So that's why I'm kind of like, I don't know if I honestly should really interfere or not, until I have like a grasp of the situation in itself. So I wouldn't say that I'm too paralyzed by the sight of by the sight in front of me. I would say that it's more like I don't know, kind of like an analyzing kind of thing that I have, you know. How could this be happening? Sorry. You know, I always get like this in the morning. because of the allergies and asthma and all of it. The person now wielding the knife holds it in their hands as they would a precious jewel, then looks up at Cyrus. Their voice trembles. See, like, maybe it's not that he's asking him to cut himself. It might be just take this blade and do what you are supposed to do and maybe like kill another person or something. I have no idea what's going on here. You know, I cannot just judge just by what my mind is like kind of like trying to internally visualize and imagine. Right here. Now you're right, in front of the statue would be a more fitting setting for this. Fuck. Shall we? Yes, by all means. In my panic, I try to shuffle back noiselessly, but one of my steps nearly fumbles, allowing the clacking sound to echo freely between the walls. Who's there? It is too late to run. Would they find? Just as I'm about to make a run for it, a hand clutches onto the fabric of my robe. Hard. Never seen the person before. No matter how much I struggle, there's no time. In just a few seconds, I'm face to face with Cyrus himself. If I didn't know better, I'll say he's stunned to see me. He nods once in the other person's direction, who proceeds to drag me through the doorway and unceremoniously toss me into the room. Vesper. Cyrus' voice turns back to the warm, comforting one I've always heard. But right now, I don't know if I trust it. You shouldn't be here, my star. I'm simply taking care of some sensitive matters. You have to understand. Sensitive matters, really. You gave him a knife, one that he was going to use on himself. On himself? See, like, she projected that. But we don't know. We don't know the situation. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Maybe he was giving the knife for the guy to kill another person. Maybe he was giving the knife for the guy to sell it on the market. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, just because he was like screaming at him, I have to the stranger, whatever, him, her, they, I have to assume the situation that, oh, it's for him to kill himself. For this person, sorry, to kill themselves. You know, like, I don't know. You know, cannot assume things. He pauses. I think you have the wrong idea. What I gave him was not a weapon, but a ritual dagger. One used in the elaborate dances and rituals are, I don't know if I'm going to say it in the right way. Repentance? I don't know. I know what it means. It's as I say, usually. I know what the words mean. I'm not certain sometimes how to spell them in the correct way. I'm left utterly speechless. Yeah, maybe he's just like trying to avoid the situation and like, no, it was just for the ritual. But we don't actually know if it was that or not. I don't have to just like create an assumption in my head, you know? I stare at Cyrus, then back at the trembling person. When I ask them if it's true, they nod. I think I should leave. I think you're staying right where you are. When I gaze back up at the priest, he's smiling in a way that gives me chills. Leave for now, we'll continue this later. He dismisses the shivering person without so much as a glance in their direction. They immediately obey and scuttle off. Then the door shuts behind us, and when I ask why Cyrus is locking it, he gives me no answer. He tucks the key away in a pocket. And with that, there's no way out. When I refuse to look up at him, his fingers grasp my chin with surprising strength and forces me to meet his masked gaze. Do you make it a habit of snooping around and eavesdropping like this? Usually, I don't have to. But then I heard shouting. You poor thing. His smile twists cruelly. I did keep you waiting for quite a while. Did you miss me? I'm not sure what's making my heart race faster right now, the adrenaline or the fact that he's so close. No matter. I'm going to teach you some manners. Listening on important conversations is very, very naughty. He steps even closer, completely suffocating me with his presence. Have you ever been punished before, my star? What? Punishment? Yes, I'll think of something adequate for a little eavesdropper like you. Of course, since it is your first infraction, I'll go easy on you, but penance is of utmost importance down here, and I think you'll best keep that soul of yours unblemished. No, I don't understand, and I don't think I want to. Give me the key, Cyrus. I want to live. Hush, little star. As much as I enjoy the sound of your voice, you really do talk too much. He takes a step back, finally allowing me a bit of a personal space. Then he immediately turns around and makes his way to one of the minimalistic wooden shelves in the corner of his room. There's barely anything in here, save for sleeping arrangements and some storage. His shelves, on the other hand, are crammed full of jewelry, books, and small, neatly labeled vials. It's the vials he's aiming for as a long digit reaches out to brush over one of their corks. I'm wary of his every move. Could it be some kind of an aphrodisiac kind of thing? And when Cyrus is back in front of me, two of the mysterious vials in hand, I tense up. I'm aware the situation may have you a little on edge, but I need you to trust that this is for your own good. His expression falls, and in that moment I wish I could see his eyes. What would I find if I looked deep within? But the more I think about it, the less I understand. Please? He's saying please. For the first time I hear him beg me. It's a completely alien feeling. What do you have there? I try my hardest to keep my voice neutral as I ask. Cyrus pops one of the vials open with nimble fingers, releasing a sudden waft of a strong honey-like aroma. I think it's some type of an aphrodisiac, I don't know. Cloyingly sweet, almost coating the back of my throat from the smell alone. I think we're staring at each other now. The intensity of it makes my hair stand on end. Raise your mask and open your mouth. Why should I obey this? What is going on here? Tell me what's going on here, dude. Don't. No fucking way. When he sees I offer no further answers, his fingers grasp my face and tear the lower segment of my mask off. The hinges and ruined remains of it lay forgotten on the floor as I stumble back. Before I know it, my lips are pried open with strong but controlled force. When I try to bite down, the vial is jammed carelessly between my teeth, allowing the liquid inside to pool over my tongue. The glass is solid enough to stop my bite, but I am left with pain blooming in my whole mouth and a few tiny shards of glass resting on my tongue, almost as a warning. The nectar is just as thick as the initial smell, but now that it runs over my taste buds, I'm overwhelmed by the flowery, syrupy aftertaste. I feel it sticking to my lips like a glaze, and when he continues pouring, it tickles down my chin. It doesn't taste bad, but something feels off. As the liquid settles in my stomach, I feel strangely aware of everything. The way my nails scrape over the skin of my palm, the way my chest expands with every new breath, the fragrance of the incense, and how it clouds my mind. Yeah, it's a type of an aphrodisiac. Because you start feeling like that, like all of your senses are a lot more aware when you take like some kind of an aphrodisiac. I promise you it's just temporary. He speaks in a soothing, measured way. What's temporary? Now, why would he want us to do this? What does he have in mind? Cyrus' hands rest on my shoulder, and while I feel every single digit through the cloth, the sensation of him trailing those fingers down the length of my arm should just elicit a small shiver. Instead, it feels like a sharp, cold wave that borders on actual pain, taking me entirely off guard. My breath catches in my throat, and even that feels like an overload of sensation, like claws digging around my lungs. There's affection lingering under the cruel curve of his lips, and it takes everything in my power to not make any sudden moves. Now, the sooner you complete your task, the better. You see, it's not too difficult, and the lunar god will be so very pleased with you. He's taking his time, walking in slow circles around me, observing me. You're going to do wonderfully. I notice amidst my panic that the second vial in his hand contains uncooked rice, but why? His thumb pries the cork off the top, and with a tilt of the wrist, he empties the contents of the vial, showering the wooden floors in tiny pale grains. I hate that I feel afraid to ask what it's for. Knees. He whispers, and I know it's not an order I can defy. But the moment my knees reach the floor, the rice digs into my skin, and I instantly understand. My legs feel like they are on fire. The individual grains push further into my knees, and with a muffled curse, I try adjusting my position. What the fuck is this? Just as I shift to look up, the sight of Cyrus holding an actual leather flogger makes me release a strange sound I didn't know I was capable of making. No. Easy there, easy. You're going to do it yourself, so it won't be so bad. After all, you are the one who must repent. Yeah, as I said, like, he's the sadistic type of guy. Because I was just like, since the beginning, I was like looking at this guy, like, it seems like the sadistic type of guy. I take a deep, careful breath. What if I refuse? Cyrus chuckles, but it's devoid of warmth. Then I suppose I'll have to take matters into my own hands, Can't have my little star ruining her chances. Sure, do it. Fuck you, you're full of crap. Give me your worst. He sounds pleased. Of course he sounds pleased, but I want to know. Very well, since you ask so kindly. Yeah, I knew it. I was kind of like, how to put it? I was looking at this guy, and I was like, he is the sadistic type of guy. I don't know. It's like, you just look at his expression on his face, it's just like that. He handles the flogger with an experienced grip, and it doesn't take a genius to see he's done this plenty before. All I can do is stare at the tails, swing around, and prepare myself for the impact. We'll start with 10. I close my eyes. But no amount of deep breaths or mental preparation ready me for the impact between my shoulder blades. My vision goes wide as mind-shattering pain explodes all over my back. It's unlike anything I've felt before, and it takes everything in me to not scream. The next hit comes sooner than expected, just a few centimeters lower, enough to revive the precious surge of pain. Alongside that, the rice continues to dig further into my knees. This time I scream. Perfect. Suffering for your wrongs and completely letting go. What a wonderful sight. Another 2 hits of the flogger make me choke back sobs. I'm so proud of you. He murmurs a few words in a language I don't understand under his breath, giving me a moment to curl up and brace myself for the next hit. But Cyrus isn't having it. Sit up, Vesper. When I refuse to budge, still trembling with the aftershock of pain, his fingers hook into the collar of my cloak and tug. They pull up further and further, and before long I'm gasping for air and clawing at his hands. Cyrus. I said, sit up. My struggle only serves to please him further. At this point, I'm desperate for all of it to stop. I nod and fight through the sensation until he releases my cloak, after which I fall back to my previous position on my knees. Sorry, I should not be saving in here, but I'm kind of like, I think I've been forgetting about it for a long time. Everything aches deeply. There's 6 more to go. I can make it through, just need a bit longer. We don't know. Maybe he said 10, but he might think about more. We never know. But the next hit comes far too soon. I'm screaming again, the force of it resonating in my vocal cords. Each individual tail's flick leaves trails of fire searing across my back. As the flogger traces a figure 8 across my skin, my throat tightens up. Please, God. I feel warm tears dripping down my face. He takes a deep, satisfied breath. That's it. Beg for forgiveness. By the time I receive the final hit, my vision goes blurry and I realize my senses are dulling again. A pleasant numbness washes over me. Darkness quickly engulfs my senses. I'm not conscious long enough to realize that my body has already collapsed to the floor. By the time I come to, I'm surrounded by the smell of cotton and feel something warm and soft on my arm. It's just the right, lukewarm temperature, something like a damp cloth gently dabbing away the sweat and cream on my skin. I keep my eyes closed, fearing it might stop if I happen to open my eyes. The cloth is removed and I hear the sound of water dripping. When the sensation returns to my other arm, I almost exhale in relief. It feels so comforting that I'm tempted to drift off again. It's when the cloth runs up the side of my neck that my breath hitches. Are you awake, little star? Darn. I decide not to respond. His thumb crawls up to rest over the edge of my ear, and with a deliberately slow, ghostly touch, he runs it around the shell until he reaches the lobe and gives it a pinch that makes something inside me tingle. Your body is betraying you. Open your eyes, Vesper. Talk about playing dirty. I shift on the mattress underneath me. Do all priests make it a habit to fondle their visitors during their sleep? Mouthy from the you wake, I see. I bite back a response and take a moment to reassess my situation. The effects of the syrup have long since worn off, though I'm left with a little sensitivity sparking up here and there. Do you want some water? His sudden kindness surprises me this time, and I nod in response. I hadn't realized how parched I really am. Wait here. Cyrus quickly makes his way out of the room, leaving me alone and disoriented. I need time to organize my thoughts. About that punishment, for example. After all, I now know for certain what kind of a person Cyrus is. A sadistic guy. I need to deal with these to get the Iker. We could think in that way, true. But we are still not certain if what he told us will lead us to the Iker, okay? Like, it could be a false promise, so he could take advantage of us. Like, he already noticed that we are looking into something in a very desperate way. And he could have, like, simulated that situation for us to keep us at bay, you know, and for us to keep coming back and having, like, this hope that he would get us, like, he would find us a solution. And he hasn't proven nothing. He hasn't shown us nothing. And that's what is kind of like making me feel like, what do I have that guarantees me that this guy actually has a solution to my problem? Zero. Nothing. Do you understand what I'm trying to say in here? The structure of the ritual was comforting. It wasn't. It was very enjoyable. No, it wasn't enjoyable. So I need to deal with this to get to Yaikura. I don't like any of them. The structure of the ritual was it wasn't. It was very enjoyable. No. This is the best one that I can get. All of the others are the I want to do this route kind of thing. And for me, like, it's not a matter of like doing the route. For me, it's my logical side. For me, it's like trying to understand what's going on in here and trying to understand, like, which one is the less poisonous solution in here. Because I bet all of them are going to be kind of like poisonous. But I think we are kind of already trapped in the priest's route somehow. I don't know. I don't have a choice in this. It's a disgusting situation I found myself in, and there's no chance of wiggling myself out of it now. Not when it's my only lead. I don't care what I have to go through as long as I make it out alive and fractum free by the end of it. This mad priest won't break me, and I'll make goddamn sure of it. I lower my hood while he's gone, allowing myself just a little freedom to move. I'm tempted to remove my mask, but it doesn't feel like the right time. I can show Cyrus more of my face. My head is still swimming as more questions continue to pop up, one after the other. I doubt that all followers of the lunar god engage in this kind of behavior, unless the underground is a fair bit kinkier than I anticipated. Actually, not very surprising. But that still begs the question of why Cyrus is having me undergo this. Personal satisfaction? A genuine desire to follow some obscure commandments? Questionable morals? Before I can come to any kind of conclusion, he's back with a tray carrying a pitcher of water, fresh water, and what looks like chocolate. Correct. He hands me the little tray and I inspect the contents. This better not be spiked again. It won't be unless you give me a reason to, little star. I'm not sure if he's joking or not. Reassuring. I take a swig of the water, letting it soothe the back of my throat before I reach for the square of the chocolate. It's dark with an uneven surface. When I bite into it, I'm surprised by the hint of lavender and black tea that melts in my mouth. Little grains are spread throughout the chocolate, and with each bite, they release a burst of flavor. Volunteers sometimes come help with food, and on the good days, there's leftovers. Could get used to this. We sit in silence for a while until I set the platter aside and shuffle into a better position against the headboard. How is your back feeling? It's okay. You know what you did to my back, right? No thanks to you, of course. I'm having a hard time gauging his reaction. Then his lips jog into another, calmer smile. It's my duty to make sure you are all right, of course. That being said, I have a question for you. Do you need any more aftercare, Vesper? Huh? I want a hug. I want a warm drink instead of water. I want to be left alone for a bit. I want an extra blanket. I'm fine. Get out of here, dudes. Let me be. Before I forget, my star, I've got some news regarding the notes. This makes me sit up straighter in attention. Really? Indeed, I'll be sending out someone tomorrow, and if all goes well, they'll be back with positive news. Can't we just go there ourselves? Cyrus purses his lips, taking the time to think. I suppose I can't stop you. We could go now, if you like. I feel a surge of energy shoot straight through me as I leap out of bed, then readjust my hood. I have never felt more ready. Let's go. He chuckles. Eager. I dismiss the comment and make my way towards the door that has since been unlocked. When the night air hits my face outside the church, I find myself completely relieved. I never realized how suffocating that small room was, even in comparison to a literal cave. Cyrus guides me in silence through a long series of winding maze-like passages, through progressively more and more obscure stalls. We eventually find ourselves in front of a row of small, decrepit homes, one of which is barely standing. The door is broken down and the walls are crumbling. But that is the one he leads me towards. Then I see it. The desk with a stack of documents, almost as though waiting for us. What I don't see is the thin little line of magic running across the floor, barely shimmering amidst the dust. By the time my foot passes through it, the floorboards spread apart with a sharp crack, and suddenly blades shoot up from the gap and into my flesh. I can't even make a sound, not when my entire body is impaled and falling apart, landing on the floor with a sickening squelch. I feel strangely full. The sharp edges cut like butter through my organs, muscles, and skin, leaving me to bathe in the horrifying and ceremoniously puddle of my own bodily juices. The life drains out of me, and I barely manage to hear Cyrus sighing before my consciousness shuts down, never to come back. I'll have to thank them for setting this up. She fell right into it. Cyrus makes his way over to the remains of Vesper and kneels down, patting her head. You're okay now, you don't have to suffer anymore. So we are probably getting like the bad ending. It's because I was not going along with him, as the game probably wants us to. Even better. Now I won't have to listen to that little mouth going off. Chapter 1. Worst end. Okay. He put you out of your misery. Okay. To be continued. The descent chapter to the depths. Okay. Like. Yeah, apparently I think you have like different endings going on in here, right? I think I heard that. You kind of like have like different. That's why I was like, since the beginning, I was kind of like, I probably like should really keep saving. That's what I keep saving in this one. Stay tuned. Okay. Do you want us to do at least another one just to see if we get like into another situation? Maybe like this one with what is his name? Kier, right? So I don't know. Stay. I can try and flee now and risk the danger of a chase. And what if those authorities who were chasing us find me? Patience. Kier shoves past the teen and follow close behind. Wherever we are, I feel safer with him than alone. We squeeze between two houses and end up on a busy, cramped road. The glow-warm light that illuminates all the caverns is mostly blocked out by the homes of either side of us. Then we are in a small square of sorts. It's an open space with the most sturdy buildings of this area all around, and there's a path leading away in all directions. It's dark, but I can see glimpses of masks in the shutters that crack open to watch us. Kier. Hey, I'm home. That is the first time I've heard any warmth in his voice. It's such an abrupt change, I almost cannot believe it's the same man behind the mask. A child jumps from the low second-story window, landing on Kier's back. Hey, give a man a warning, you're gonna break my back. No way, you menace. He reaches around and pulls the kid off him, holding them up by one arm. The kid is kicking and wiggling and laughing. You better say sorry or you'll be stuck there forever. Sorry. Kier lets the kid down. Sorry, you're so old. Sorry, you're so old. Okay, it's the kids. The kid and a few of their friends pelt away and Kier protests loudly, but even I can hear him smiling. Kier, who's this? Someone plucks at my long sleeve, tucking my arm. I twist away sharply. That's Vesper, or so she told me. Do I get to speak yet? Nah, I like the silence. Well, I think you've enjoyed enough of that. Could never get enough. I'm called Vesper, though you can decide whether you believe me. What's a stranger doing here? Need a decoy. Turns out she's the right size. A decoy. Wow, you gotta be quick on your feet to keep up with Kier. Yeah, I was impressed. I thought I was gonna lose her for sure. No, stop. Explain. Not everyone can keep up with me. You know that's not what I meant. What do you mean, a decoy? You know what a decoy is, right? I need one. You fit the profile. He's evading. Why? You needed a decoy to deceive some kind of authority. You needed a decoy and you're a thief. Yes, very smart. Was I a decoy for someone you were working with or someone you stole? Oh, damn. That's a quick one for sure. It sounds like I'm right. And what were you planning on doing with me when you were done, huh? I was going to let you leave. It's such a blatant lie. My jaw drops. Does he really think I'll believe that? No way. You can't let her leave now that she can find her way here. Oh, so am I a prisoner now? Kier, what were you thinking? I was thinking you'll play the bad guy, Grief, and let me be the hero. Looks like you're not on today. What? I was thinking that someone who can run and dodge the authorities is an asset. He faces me as he says that. What? What? He did not just try to recruit me. Kier, you're insane. You can say that all you like. I'm right. We need her to stay quiet. I wasn't planning on involving the authorities. And why should I trust you when you say that? You've already proven you understand. Trust is a lot harder to earn here than topside. So we let her learn even more about us? That's about the shape of things. Once you're involved, you're the same type of criminal as the rest of us. And if I'm involved against my will? Yeah, the enforcement here is just so kind and understanding. I'm sure they'll take you at your word. More people, plain masked and curious, are gathering around. I don't know why you're being so hostile to me when I didn't ask for any of this. Because you don't understand. If we get caught stealing, we get killed. The only way we can even start to trust you is if you also got a noose around your neck. And I didn't ask for any of this. Doesn't matter. You let him have it. You manipulative gutter slime. Hey, I was nothing to you and you've decided, just for fun, I suppose, to destroy my life. You're fucking horrible. Grief seems keen to get me to shut up, but Kier's hand settles calmly on his shoulder. He knows he's earned this. I suppose I'm just some random insignificant stranger. What could my thoughts and feelings possibly have to do with anything? Well, if you need a noose around my neck, you have it. But don't think this means I'll ever be able to trust you. There's a moment of quiet. My heart is pounding, and in my head there's nothing but screaming. I'm so angry I can hardly breathe. Are you done? Like he's talking to a child, not an adult whose existence he's irreparably changed for the worse. You are blackmailing me. Don't you fucking dare condescend to me too. Keir doesn't answer. Finally, there's a quiet moment. Everyone around us seems to be coming to the same conclusion as me. I'm cornered. I don't have a choice in this. I keep my voice as flat and neutral as possible. Not really, no. Then what do I do? You run a few jobs with us, get that news good and tight. And then, if you want to leave, you get yourself a new identity and you leave. You already put a mask and picked a name once, right, Vesper? Right. Then you can do it again. You sure about this, though? Yeah. With cups down for the count, we need a new lookout. Vesper's got what it takes. I sure hope you don't think that counts as a compliment. When I compliment you, if that ever happens, you'll know it. Good to know. And we're not using Eve because Eve is 12. Don't be stupid, Grief. Fine. I'll do what you need and then I'm out. Hey, no need to make it sound like a prison sentence. Am I not being held here against my will? Prisoners don't get paid, you will. What? We're pragmatic, we're not monsters. You do the work, you get paid. Can we really afford? Yes, Griff, I've heard we are getting our favorite visitor in a few weeks. We'll all be getting paid. Hell yes. What do you mean paid? Caught your attention, have I? I think it's fair to know what my wages are going to be. The number Keir gives is not gobsmackingly high. I don't know if I'm saying it right. But it's not low either. A few jobs could make for some comfortable living at the Leaping Bear for a long time. Then again, it won't solve my big problem. Yeah, but the thing is, like, she's still thinking about going back into the inn. When I'm like, if you already have like some kind of a reputation, I don't know if the inn is going to take you back again, you know? Good enough? I have a counter offer. The idea in my head is half formed, but I have to pursue it. Oh, are we negotiating? You are a thief. Yes, that's well established. Which means if I want something instead of money, you could get it. Depends on the thing. Lunar Ichor. The crowd around us burst into a flurry of whispers. Well, at least they know it's important. Keir's voice changes suddenly, the timbre low in a way I can't interpret. You need Ichor? I do. For what? Why should I trust you enough to say? Rude. Blackmailer. There's a long pause. That's a lot of jobs you're going to have to work to earn something that pricey. Would I be able to make enough money to buy it? Not in your life, I don't think. Not with us, at least. Then working for you is my best shot at getting it. Grief suddenly pulls on Keir's cloak and he leans in. There's whispering and I am not nearly close enough to hear it. Then they separate and Keir runs his hands over his mask. It's a gesture of pure exhaustion. Fine. The whispers rise in intensity. You work with us, you get your Ichor. He holds out a gloved hand. We have a deal? I slowly reach out. He clasps my hand and we shake on it. Deal. I'm tempted for a second to think this was too easy. But it really wasn't. Keir calls out into the crowd. Someone go out with her to get her things. Pardon? We can't have you sneaking in and out all the time. Too dangerous. We just finished moving here as well. So I live here now. You'll get a room of your own. Eventually a volunteer comes forward. Together we sneak out of the hidden community and return to the Leaping Bear. They refuse to talk to me and just follow me like a shadow into my room while I gather the few things I left there. Some clothes to the odd knickknacks I've managed to acquire, my hygiene supplies. Then it's time to return the key. Hello? Oh, Vesper, good to see you. Ready to pay for more time. You are definitely the reliable sort, so I can offer a good rate. Not this time, sorry. I found somewhere else a little closer to my goals. I dropped the key on the counter in front of her. Thank you, though. The Leaping Bear was becoming a bit of a new home for me. Bruna is quiet for a few seconds, then she drops her voice low. So low, I can barely hear her. Do you need help? If that shadow of yours is unwelcome, Rufus can remove them. What? Oh no, things are fine. Rufus doesn't need to do anything. I'm fine. My new arrangements came as a surprise, but I did say yes to the offer. Never mind what kind of duress they put me under, I did agree. Good then. Never liked seeing my clientele go places they weren't interested in going. Thank you for staying with us. Bruno's voice is a little more formal than I'm used to. I suppose now that I'm leaving, I will likely never see her again. It's a little disappointing. I have no real bonds here in the marketplace, but I was getting used to the Leaping Bear. Goodbye. I leave my shadow close behind me. Eventually they take the lead, guiding me to yet another hidden passage. How many ways of sneaking in and out are there? As we enter the cavern again, someone is there waiting for us. Hey! My shadow answers quickly. Don't mind us, just here to polish some sunstones. Then I'm being led back into the tight network of pathways between closely built homes until we are stopped in the square again. Here, I'm done being a babysitter. I see Kier, or at least his mask, turn to face us. Already? You don't have to sound so annoyed. I didn't have many earthly possessions to start with. Getting them was easy. Good. We found a room for you too. You'll be staying with me. What? I'm sorry, what? Kier brings home a stray. He gets to take care of it. A stray. Grief, Vesper is a person. Use her name. The way he says it, it sounds like this is a frequent topic of discussion. My home is small, but I get a lot of guests, so I keep a spare room. Then I suppose I should thank you for your hospitality. It would be nice. Maybe later. Kier suddenly stands next to me and pats my back right between my shoulders. Let's get going. I've had a long-ass day and I need to take a break. Are you even going to be able to relax with a stranger in your home? No, but it's nice to pretend. We start walking. By the way, welcome to Mouse Hole. What a name for this place. The twisting paths between the buildings are a tangled mess and there's no easy landmark to orient myself with. Further from the square, the homes and businesses, such as they are packed so tightly together that the blue-green glowworm light from above doesn't reach us. Instead, the warm, flickering light of lamps and lanterns fills the pathway. It's dim, but at this point, that is hardly a problem. My eyes are certainly used to the constant glow of the marketplace. Here we are. It's one home sandwiched tightly between two others, near indistinguishable from the rest. The only identifiable thing I notice are the closed shutters, painted blue instead of simply sealed raw wood. Kier unlocks the door and holds it open for me. Come inside. I step in. It's small and cramped, as anyone would have guessed. But when Kier lights the lantern by the front door, I can see that it is a comfortable arranged space. None of the furniture matches, but all of it works in some odd kind of a cluttered harmony. I don't know. Let's continue saving because sure. I mean, she kind of liked it. It felt so like that she liked it, the arrangement being odd, but at a certain time, like being pleasant in a certain way. I don't know. And you have a nice home. That was nearly a compliment. I suppose I'll take it. That's all I can give right now. At least I can say that I tried. There's a water closet behind that door. If you use the water up, you'll have to get more. I can show you where after I get some sleep. Your room is there. The key is in the lock. That's the only key. Don't lose it. Understood? If you buy and keep your own food, that's fine. Otherwise, you contribute to my budget and share what I get. Any other rules I ought to know? Don't be destructive. Don't make a racket while I'm sleeping. And if I leave, go around the neighborhood as much as you like. If you try to leave without an escort, expect the watch to notice and stop you. I'm going to have something to eat before bed. You hungry? I'm glad he can see the surprise on my face. Are you sure? About letting you have a snack? About keeping me here? Oh. Here's the thing, Vesper. I'm not that worried about you murdering me in my sleep. My door locks the same as yours. And honestly, eternal rest isn't exactly something I'm dreading. He chuckles a little. If you decide to make yourself into a problem, we can find somewhere else to put you. Grief knows a pretty obscure tunnel that goes straight down if you're really unbearable. If it's all the same, I'd like to avoid that. It's easy enough to think of this as just another guest house. That Kier is no worse than Rufus, intimidating but ultimately harmless. He steps towards what I assume to be a cooking space. The counter is exceptionally cluttered, but he is able to find his goal with ease, a shallow wood bowl. Here. He takes a handful of whatever it is from the bowl and then holds it out to me. This is deadly poison. Eat up. A closer look tells me that it's actually an assortment of dried fruits. Sure, let's play nice on this one. No harm in getting a snack. I take a few and Kier puts the bowl away again. He doesn't reveal his mouth as he nibbles, instantly threading the fruit under his mask. I'm doing the same. Well, get yourself some rest. Don't murder me in my sleep. I'll resist the temptation as best I can. Kier departs suddenly, taking himself as his handful of dried fruit into his bedroom. I hear the lock click decisively, and I am suddenly alone again. Free to indulge my curiosity privately, I do a quick tour of this front room. Kier certainly made an effort to make this a livable space, but that seems to be as far as his efforts have gone. Not much for entertainment here, is there? Maybe he doesn't have friends over much. I continue nibbling. The sticky, sweet tart taste coats the back of my tongue. My search is quick. In the end, it has to be with so little to look at. I sleep into the dark bedroom as though I'm an intruder. For a moment, I feel like I am. It has the same cozy but spare feel of the main room, not a space I could call my own. Door locked, I give myself permission to relax. Kier could very well have a second key to this room or choose to break or bypass the lock in some way, but there is little use worrying about it. Well, that is true. But there's also like that thing which is like, you are already inside a person's house. This is like, I think this is something that it's a reflection that we have, which is like, you're not even thinking about the situation, which is you are already inside of his house. Why are you thinking about it when you are inside of the room? Because he could have like rape you, imagine, rape you inside of the house. It didn't have to be inside of the room. But we are creatures that we associate things to things, okay? So kind of funny that we do think like she's thinking right now, which is like, inside of the house it was kind of okay, but inside of the room it was already like, oh, but he can break in and get inside the room even if I lock it. And do you understand what I'm trying to say? It's funny that we as humans, we kind of tend to think like this. But in a certain way, she was already volatile inside of the house in itself, you know. It's funny that we do tend to think like this. Bypass the lock in some way, but there is little use worrying about it. I'm already so keyed up from stress that adding the possibility of being murdered in my sleep would make resting impossible. What have I gotten myself into? I've been recruited into a gang of thieves against my will. Yeah, I mean, it would make sense that he would like, I would understand if she would thought about a raping scene, but it wouldn't make sense for her to think about like a scene of like, oh, but I might be killed during my sleep. Okay, because okay, it would make sense if we would think about in a way of like, oh, but he would kill you because he wanted to steal your things. I mean, he's a thief. But they could have done that already. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, you were already in a situation, in a place, in a cavern, whatever, where that could have already happened if they wanted. You know, so I would actually think more in terms of like being raped and actually being killed during my sleep. Do you understand? It's kind of funny in the way that she's like thinking about it. And I think it's a very natural way, in a certain way. It's a very natural way for us to get the signs like that. The thing is, most of us do not think in a more wider situation. We tend to think in more of like a narrowed situation, which is like, oh, she didn't thought it about while she was in those caverns or the home in itself. She's thinking when she's inside the bedroom. We tend to move like that. It's kind of funny that the way we think, not more in a broadened way, but in more in a narrow situation. So, yeah, I've been recruited into a gang of thieves against my will. So, yes, girl, I don't think they would murder you during the night. They could have done it a long time before. They could have stolen your goods before, and he probably could have raped you when you put your feet inside the house too, not inside the bedroom. You know, so when you reach this conclusion, I think you start distressing yourself and then understanding that, you know, maybe there is nothing for me to worry, at least until tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll see, you know, but a gang that likely steals to survive, but there's one thing that leaves me deeply uncomfortable. If I was a decoy for something Kier stole, that means Kier was stealing a person. Could I live with myself helping to steal people? I'm not a person that lives well with that because I do not steal things from others. I never did. I continue to not do it. There must be a good reason because he's a Robin Hood in disguise. That's what they are trying to tell us. There is no good reason. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There is. I feel like there is never a good reason for us to be stealing unless we are trying to survive. And even in a situation, sometimes I think about it, like anyone would think about it, which is like, imagine that I'm in a situation where I cannot provide for myself, my own person, you know, would I be the person that would actually steal? And I would tell you this, which is like, I would, and I would to get caught. I think I actually would, but to get caught. And I say this because you pass a lot in a prison, but at least you have a roof, and you have meals, and you have a place to sleep. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, probably like the worst place, but at least you would have a way to survive. Do you understand? In terms of so I would not actually steal to continue to be a thief, but actually to allow myself to get caught, to have a place where I could actually be, although like a really bad place, you know. Although it goes by prison, you know, and the prisoners in it and all of it. But that's more like my type of mentality. So the only good reason that I usually see is because you are in a situation where you cannot even provide for your survival anymore. That's the only good reason that I see. Not like the reasons of like, because I have ambitions in life and I'm a lazy person and so I steal. Okay, that's no. No. I'm totally against that. It feels desperate. It feels like trying to find the silver lining of a hurricane. Finding the silver lining of a hurricane. That's like when you try to like put that image in your mind. kind of funny. But I need for my own sanity to believe that whatever Kier is doing is for the best. I swallow hard, trying to chase these thoughts away. I'm not going to sleep at all, am I? I follow the motions of getting ready for bed. I even take off my mask, though I am careful to lay down with my back to the door. And after some hours of trying to find a comfortable position, I must have fallen asleep because Kier wakes me up with sharp knocks to the door. In the days that follow, I get used to the pace of life in Mouse Hole. I am, as promised, left to my own devices for the most part. I can sense people getting tense when I drift towards any of the myriad exits, but I am not about to test my luck with an ill-considered escape attempt. Kier, it seems, is a popular one. He's constantly being called this way or that, attending to roof repairs or settling quarrels, but that is only when I see him, which is quite rare. We are quite often ships that pass in the night. Okay, there's an allegory going on here. It's like, we are quite often ships. What? In my first days, I was largely ignored. None of the regular residents wanted to interact with me. I have to admit, it nearly drove me mad. But once I proved to their satisfaction that I am not a deranged maniac, the people seemed keen to get an additional set of hands in their work. I've chopped vegetables and hauled water and watched babies and held a lot of ladders in place. It's not hard work, but it conquers my boredom and gives me a chance to make small talk. Shale? Is it Shale? Vesper, I need a hand. On it. Shale, one of the friendliest people in Mouse Hole, is stacking cranes near an exit passage. Not sure how much I can help. I don't think my reach is longer than yours. I just need a little more support so I can... They do a short hop and shove the crate into place. If you've got time, I could use a hand a little longer. My schedule is packed, but I can skip a social engagement or two to help. Shale's chuckle is gratifying. Very funny, but aren't you going to the strategy meeting soon? Strategy meeting? You are running a lookout, aren't you? I believe that was the arrangement, but this is the first I'm hearing about a... Hey, Vesper, we gotta talk strats. Speak of the devil. Looks like I'm doing this on my own. I wouldn't want you to skip that social engagement. Thank you, Shale. Maybe there will be some barrels we can roll around later to make up for this. I think there's an empty one around here somewhere. The kids took it to roll each other in. That I would love to see. Are you ignoring me, Vesper? Not in the slightest. You know how much I love talking with you. Bye, Shale. Bye. I make my way towards Kier. I'm a little more comfortable following him through the narrow, winding paths of Mouse Hole now. What were you doing there? Trying to give Shale a hand. Makes sense. Shale's always finding good tasks to get the kids involved in community work. You are probably right, but I resent that remark. Anyway, get moving. Everyone's waiting on you. You say that like I deliberately dallied. This is the first I'm hearing about a meeting. Then we'll need to fix your communication too. Hey, waiting for me to ask when are you holding a secret meeting I do not even know is a possibility is not reasonable. Yeah, get moving. We duck into one of the buildings on the square. Kier has to duck partially low. The door frame is unusually short, and he's a fairly tall man. Hey, Kier. Finally found her. I wasn't hiding. Found her just fine, thanks. I wasn't hiding. I take a seat at the table with several other individuals. The room is extremely dark, even for an underground room, but I think I can see hints of this being a pub or a bar of some kind. Real quick, Vesper, these are Levy and Hallow. Is it like that? Levy and Hallow? You already know Griff. Terrible seeing you again, Vesper. Likewise. One of the other two gives me a slow, casual wave. Lavinia, call me Lave. My girl here is Hallow. The other one, Hallow, gives me a near imperceptible nod. She's leaned in close to Levy. Not a talkative sort of couple, then. Okay, Griff, what's the brief? We've got a commission. Fuck off. Kier's already proved it, don't worry. It's fine, Lave. Griff gave me the full rundown of the client. We've got a commission to relieve the auctioneer of a few choice pieces. Absolutely fucking no. Not the auction. I'm not crazy. The auctioneer. That means crossing the rubby walls. The what? You've done that half a dozen times. And nearly died each time. We're not dead yet. Not you two, Kier. Sorry. Not you two, Kier. You are supposed to be sensible. I'm being sensible. This is a huge potential payoff, and we have an in. Okay, there we go into another really crazy and probably dangerous situation. Okay, keep listening. I don't fully understand, but I'm not about to interrupt this discussion without good reason. Fine, we'll do the extremely dangerous job behind the rubby walls. That's the spirit. So we cross the walls, easy, and we all know where the auctioneer's house is. Our inn is the new building being done at the club next door. It's an easy climb from there to the balcony, which doesn't have a lock. Are we going to be able to be like this parkour type of person or something? I don't know. You and Hallow are going to find and lift the pieces we are after. Kier and me are gonna be defense and distraction. And Vesper will try to live up to Gup's example. Not a terrible plan. Not a good plan either. Hallow's voice is so ghostly, I'm not entirely sure I heard it. Obviously, it sounds dumb without the important details. Griff draws a map on the tabletop with a stick of chalk and carefully walks us through each step. For the most part, I understand. My role is, if nothing else, comically easy. Stand by, signal if there are other people around. Okay, you with us, Vesper? I don't have much of a choice in that, do I? He's asking if you understand. Almost everything. Almost. I've gleaned that the auctioneer's home is on the level above a pleasure parlor, something you did not explain. If I don't know what the rubby walls are, how do you not know that? I've been under the mountain less than a month, and you are locals, that's how. Fine, the ruby walls are a series of walls that have a vein of raw rubies in them in the main market cavern. There's gates that theoretically anyone can go through. But in practice, it's a space for the rich and beautiful. Exactly. And it's heavily guarded beyond the walls as to danger. Yep. Now I understand. And in the future, you'll speak up immediately if there's something you don't know. Yeah, sure, but I was trying to grasp the situation first, dude. Let's put another one in here. You're always telling me not to talk, and now this? I'm serious. I'm not risking my own neck to save you if you're in a stupid situation. You get in trouble, you're on your own. So I'm an acceptable loss. Exactly. Let's get ready to go. The four of them stand up. I follow their lead. My cloak is just barely fine enough to be worn beyond the ruby walls, but the other four take the chance to fancy themselves up. God, back in these awful things. Kier holds up a heavy, richly embroidered cloak. Imagining him in it is comical. Laughing at me, Vesper? Yes. Ah. And you, Leif? She shrugs. She's right, you look stupid in that. It doesn't match. It really doesn't. I keep telling you, buddy, you're made of iron, not silver. Griff's already in his disguise. Like you're one to talk, you look like a child going through Daddy's closet. Griff's short stature and casual posture, leaning into Kier, is completely at odds with his jeweled hood and satin cape. Knowing what he's like honestly makes it even funnier. You look like you robbed satin without a lantern. Okay, if we want to do this with this guy, I have to join in. You look like a throw pillow fucked a jewelry box. Oh my god. Leif, I think it's Leif. Leif burst into laughter, mostly at Hallow's response, I assume. Vesper, ha ha ha, oh no, ha 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 ha. Kier reaches over, takes hold of my shoulder and holds tight as he curls into himself, choking on laughter. Laugh it up. After a second, Griff looks at me. It wasn't that funny, you just surprised them with vulgarity. Kier pops up, a smile in his voice. No, it was a bit funny. You really put it over the top, Hallow. Oh no, Thanks, Hallow. The laughter dies away a little, though the mood has definitely been lifted. Things settle down again. I don't know why I put up with you. Kier pats his shoulder firmly. Neither do I. There's some more scattered laughs, but the atmosphere of the room slowly turns more serious. Halo and Leif are checking each other's disguises, ensuring their weapons are not visible to passerby. Kier is checking over his own knife carefully. It's beautiful and likely quite old, unlike the rest of his daily wear. Should I be armed? It's not a good idea, obviously. I am a ranked novice and would be far more likely to be stabbed with my own knife than use it to properly defend myself. Still, I cannot help but feel a twinge of fear. A knife won't make me feel less frightened. But it's hard to convince myself of that fact. The rest of the preparations happen in anticipatory silence. Ready? Then let's move. We walk in a loose group to yet another exit. I have yet to fully count the ways into and out of Mouse Hole, but there must be at least half a dozen. It's another narrow passage that leads into the back room of a shop. From there, we can exit through the storefront and step into the busy walkways of the marketplace. Look alive. In any other circumstance, we would be a deeply strange group, a gang of well-dressed strangers walking together but not talking. But this is hardly the strangest sight in the marketplace. There's a bird mask contortionist performing in a tiny cage and a pair of drunkards fighting in just one of the crossroads we walk through. Things are as lively as ever. We pass the church on our way to the most central caverns. Was it only a few days ago I was standing there looking for some clue to start me on my hunt? Yeah, we actually went there, girl, and we got a bad ending. As we enter the largest cavern, the heart of the marketplace, where I started my journey, we walk close together. All right, you know the drill. Split up, we meet across from the Pearl Choker. Vesper, you are with me, okay? Leave and Hello are gone in a second, melted into the crowd. Grief glances back at the Kier for a second before doing the same. Don't trust me not to run off? Not in the slightest, plus you are new to this. I might be able to give you some pointers. What makes you think I'm new at this? You are paying a lot of attention to small details, the kind that are easy to ignore when you're used to this work. Fair enough. I've never planned a theft before. I've never worked in an organized group to steal before. What is supposed to be the difference between what working or planning? I'm not sure what is supposed to be the difference in here. Going this way, whatever. I've never worked with others in a project like this. But you have done this kind of work before. I thought we were supposed to leave our surface life behind down here. Okay, so that is what is implied in here. Okay. I see it. But it wasn't very specific when you were going to choose the sentences in there. I think so. Leave it behind all you like. You're still quite comfortable working with us. Well, you have to survive somehow, right? And I doubt the auctioneer is someone who will suffer greatly when we're done with her. Maybe say auctioneer. Oh wait, you say auctioneer. Auctioneer. Okay, yeah, that's it. Sorry, I haven't been saying it the right way. Now that I'm thinking about it. This happens a lot because as I said, like I'm reading it very raw, and then I'm like trying to process things in my mind and to not come out in the right way. But it's funny that a lot of times you have like no idea. A lot of times I understand where my errors are and my bad pronunciation is. Like it's just that it comes like, imagine 15 minutes after, like, because I keep thinking about it and I'm like, oh wait, no, it's not like that. It just doesn't come right next to the situation. Auctioneer, yeah, that's it. No, you won't have to feel bad for her when we are done. She's someone who would sell literally anything if it means getting a cut. And what will you do with our finds? Sell it to a different asshole who'll do anything for a cut. I think you'll like him, though he's got a tongue as quick as yours. Is that all you think I am? Maybe if you talk less, I'll understand you more. Not a chance. Worth a try. And here are the walls, take them in. My first impression is that they are nothing special. Stone walls about twice as tall as the average person. Smooth enough to be nearly impossible to climb barehanded. And then I noticed the flickering lights. The rubies in the stone have been dug around and polished where they sit so they catch the light. They glimmer like candles, but the color is richer and redder than any fire. There are hundreds, possibly thousands of them. It's subtle and beautiful. And here's our gate. Brace yourself. Keir seems to set his shoulders and marches forward, leaving me to hurry and catch up to him. Beyond the ruby walls, things are still busy, and it's not as though there's anything to muffle the sounds of the rest of the marketplace. But there is still a noticeable change. The rest of the marketplace has people honking their wares, shouting at potential buyers and cajoling them to buy. Here, the people standing in front of the businesses don't shout. They offer samples or display their wares, pose at and flirt with nearbys. But there is no shouting. I suppose if you have a business here, you don't need to shout to get attention. It really is different. There's nothing in the world like the jewel box. It might have been said in admiration, except Keir's voice is oozing bitter disdain. Keir and I walk side by side, taking a few turns to avoid the direct path to the pearl choker. He stops to look at perfume bottles and little ivory statuettes. I pause near a window blazing with light, a lantern shop. You know the plan. I know the plan. You know where to hide. I know where to hide if you foul up everything. But you won't, will you? From your lips to the moon. Don't make me run again. Or what? Or I'll be very cross. Be still, my beating heart, anything but that. Focus or wish him well. Yeah, sure. I think, I don't know. I do suppose that wishing him well is going to keep us on his track. I don't know. You'll stay safe, won't you? I have no plans of dying. What about no dreading eternal rest? I'm not afraid of dying, I still don't want to. With my luck, I'll get done in and it'll hurt like a bitch. Then you'll stay safe. Keir stops and turns to me. We are stones in the river of people around us who pay us no mind. Keir reaches out and then gives me two soft pats on the top of my head. I'll stay safe. You haven't seen the half of what I can do. His voice is warm and confident. At the pearl choker, Keir splits away from me to enter through the front door. I slip between the pleasure parlor and the neighboring gambling hall. Both businesses are high class with beautiful fronts and charming staff, and I swear I can hear a live band from one of them. But it doesn't matter how pretty the buildings are. All alleyways are the same. There's a vague sense of I think you say crime. Is it crime or cream? I think it's grime. Grime, yeah, I said these words the last time and I was like, I think it's grime, and I said like grime. Grime and a hostility. I'm definitely not breaking any rules, but I'm also certainly not welcome here. If things have gone to plan, leave, I still don't know if I should say leave or leave. Liv and Hallow broke into the apartment above the pearl choker by climbing the new attachment to the gambling house and jumping the gap. Grief and Keir are going up through the inside using a staff passage. Am I keeping watch? And I am keeping watch, signaling whether the alleyway is clear or not through a simple set of gestures. Holding one... Wait, maybe this is important. Maybe I should be attentive in your focus. Holding one arm, there are people in the alleyway. Holding both, there are guards or staff in the alleyway. One is people, both is guards and the staff. Arms relaxed, no one but me here. Okay. I'm going to save. I'm kind of like feeling... Save it again. I'm kind of like feeling maybe I'll need this. I don't know. It is not complicated, but I do have to keep an eye on both ends of the alley and signal consistently. Ideally, all four of them will jump the gap and climb down the gambling hall's addition, and we'll separate to reunite in Mouse Hole. If we need to run, I even have 2 turns. I'll need to take in the crossroads memorized. Straight through the first crossroad, left, and... oh my god, girl, do not make me need to memorize all of this, because I'm bad. I am so bad. I already told you, like, I am playing a game, an application game, my phone. That I actually like the stories. But the issue with those stories that sometimes you need to be very attentive. And I am just like, you know, scrolling and reading, and then suddenly they ask you something that was like in there, and I'm like, oh my god, like, how the hell do I even remember if it's a freaking left or a right or whatever, you know? And yeah, I'm kind of like diminishing of that. No, I'm not. No, this one I'm not going to be able. Straight through the first crossroad, left and left again, right, and if I want to be seen, I go into and hide in the butcher's shop. Okay. It's written on my arm. Activate hints. No, it's burn it into my memory. You know, activate the hints. Yeah, sure, because I'm bad with this. At least I have a plan. I lean against the gambling hall wall. This one is made of stone, beautifully cut and polished and scratched with all sorts of graffiti. People never change. Always marking that someone had been here, that Agatha has great teeth, that Darwin fucked his mate. Delightful. I'm alone in the alley. I drop my arms and wait. My stomach churns with discomfort. I feel a cold neutrality. My body buzzes with excitement. Ooh. Despite the circumstances that brought me here, I feel a thrill like nothing else. The danger, I mean, feels distant and unreal compared to the excitement of everything. But for the moment, I have to put those feelings away. For a short while longer, I am completely alone. Then a stranger wobbles along the alley towards me. Oh my god. Hey. Mind if I smoke? Not at all. Want any? She holds out a little pouch of herbs. I recognize it on sight. Sweetgrass. I've had it plenty of times before, back on the surface. You smoke it with others to build bonds. As loose herbs like these, it softens the hard edges of stress. Not enough to addle the mind in any way, just enough to make a connection easier. I don't know if this is just a person or it's like, I'm not certain if we're talking about just a person, or imagine it could be like a guard disguised as a smuggler. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So I'm kind of thinking I am going to hold both hands. I am not certain. I cross my arms, gripping both firmly in my hands. The stranger reads it as a polite but firm rejection and pulls away. She rolls her own tab quietly a few steps away. She strikes a match. I can smell the faint sweetness of the smoke. I keep turning my gaze to either end of the alley, still focused on my mission. What are you here for? I don't know what type of answer am I going to give, though. Because I would just, like, avoiding, it would feel more suspicious. The thing is, I don't know what she's going to answer. Let me see. Buying? What you buying? Nothing as of yet. And you? Heard there was a fortune won in the gambling halls here every hour. Thought I'll try my luck. And how has your luck fared? I'm about to get a big win. I can feel it. Not well then. May the lunar god smile on you. Oh, you're a loony. There's a few people mildly near the alleyway entrance. I can tell what sort of people they are. Oh, most people in here are. The lunar blessing felt appropriate. It's so strange, though. The solar god makes everything perfect. The lunar god ruins everything, and then the people here worship the moon? I was never one for theology myself. Whatever. One of the people at the end of the alleyway starts coming in. Big, confident posture. At first, I can tell if they are armed, then I see the blade. Because it's just that I don't know. I'm going to continue. It's like, how to put it? This thing of like being a guard or just being a person, it's kind of like you don't know. You don't know, and it's a person that is disguised as some kind of a guard or... Okay, so I'm like, They get closer. Hello. Any reason you're loitering back here? Oh, I didn't realize we were loitering. We were just having a break. Yeah, we were sharing some sweetgrass. Want any? She rummages through her bag, but the stranger cuts her off. No. They point at me. I didn't see you in the hall earlier. I wasn't in the gambling hall. Then where have you been? Here? Proof? Well, I've been here with her for a while now. Mind if I ask a few questions? Go ahead. Yeah, I do suppose, like, this is the guard, and the other person was just, a person, a smuggler, though. So probably, like, the first time I should have put in just one hand, and this time too. But I was kind of like, what is going to give you, like, the real impression that this person is not a guard? He, her, they, themselves, So it's like, go ahead. Definitely some kind of security force. Did you come here alone? Come where? This alley? To the jewel box. Maybe it's better if we say we came with a friend, but we do not know anyone, so it's kind of complicated. And he already asked him for a proof. I'm going to save this one. Because I want to say with a friend, but when he asked us for a proof, I'm not going to have it. Oh no, I came with a friend, but we wanted to do certain things, and I didn't feel like joining him. You know how it is. Their posture betrays nothing. Then I see my new friend here with the sweetgrass, and she offered to share some. That's what happened? Yeah. Put that out and go back in. I'm not done yet. I'm talking to this one alone. It doesn't sound like they are going to brook any argument. You have a win waiting for you, right? Yeah, good talking with you. Likewise. She leaves, and I'm left alone with this member of security force. I mean, sure. Remain, right? Is there a problem then? Routine check. Do people not stand around alleyways in the jewel box? Not unless they are looking for trouble. Well, yeah, I was just looking for some quiet. I was just looking for a little bit of quiet. With another person? Better one than 100, I would say. The stranger doesn't look amused. Why are you here? In the jewel box or in general? The marketplace. Buying. And you had time to wander around? Turns out not everything is for sale all of the time. I'm waiting for a shipment to come in. That should be enough truth to convince them. And what have you been doing while you wait? minding my own business. That's what I want to say. But I think he might take it an offensive in here. You're seeing everything the market has to offer. Well, I've been everywhere. Even if I'm not buying, it's incredible to see everything there is to offer. The staff of the Leaping Bear have been very good at advising me where to go. No answer, but that's better than a bad one. Open up your cloak. What? I need to check you for dangerous objects. I don't think we brought a sword. But that also puts me in a very... what is the word? That puts me in a very... vulnerable, that's it. That also puts me in a very vulnerable situation, which is he will understand that I also don't have a means to defend myself. Do you understand? Okay, accept. Let's see it. Good thing I didn't take the knife. I opened my cloak and put it with the security officer examining me with almost intimate closeness by lantern light. It's uncomfortable, but there's only so much I can do. I did consent to this technically. As you can see, I am just an ordinary traveler. I agree that you're not carrying any weapons. You are free to go. Sorry? You can leave now. My first instinct is to tell them that I want to stay here, but that's not going to go over well. I'm waiting for someone here. Then wait in the tea parlor across the road. Clear out. I'll rather not. You're being too much insistent. Oh my god. They stare at me. I suppose they are trying to parse exactly what I'm thinking. You've been cooperative, so I'm going to extend the same courtesy to you once. Get out of here now before I have to take you in for suspicious behavior. I freeze. I can't leave, but staying is also no longer an option. I'm almost grateful that this is the moment someone chooses to leap from the balcony above and land on the addition to the gambling house. It's Kier. He lands, and before the security office can say a word, a knife flies past my head and stops in the officer's gut. They fall, gasping. We are compromised. Run. I don't even stop to think. I just move. No one's raised an alarm, yet I sprint from the alley. But me sprinting away from the gambling hall at a full tilt, it's inherently suspicious. Other security officers start pursuing me. I reach my first crossroad within seconds. I don't know, it wasn't. I think it was left. It only takes a split second for me to realize I've made a mistake. Yeah, I did. I know. Turning back is impossible. I'll just fall into the arms of the security officers. I take more blind turns, hoping to find something familiar, but the marketplace is a labyrinth. I find myself trapped in a dead end. Several security officers grapple me. Get off. No one is coming to save me. Help. Anyone. The security officers are efficient, if nothing else. For a second, I don't feel anything at all. I hear something splatter on the stone below me. There's a feeling of ice in my belly, followed by red-hot agony. Above all, for a second, I feel overwhelmingly nauseated. I'll vomit my guts out if they hadn't already been spilled out on the ground. Yeah, it was the left, I know. I don't know, it was just, I had like that time limit thing. I was like, whatever, one. My hearing goes distant and fuzzy. I can recognize the sounds of screaming. Everything gets distant and hazy. I'm in pain, and it blurs my vision and muffles my hearing and deadens all other sensations. And then they leave me alone to die. Okay, another bad end. I mean, this is like a demo, so we wouldn't actually get like a real total route in here anyway. So I just wanted to do a little bit more so we would pass time with another person. It's kind of funny that there was like one of the guys that we never actually ended up meeting. I don't remember his name, whatever. So what do I want to say? I didn't dislike it, but yes, I also felt like it was very much more like narrative driven, although not narrative driven in terms of like me reading tons and tons of paragraphs, not that. What I'm trying to say in here in terms of the narrative driven is more like it felt more into getting you into the story than actually being in a romantic situation with these guys. Okay, there was also like the feeling that this game is probably drawn by you getting into bad situations of like sadistic guys and thieves and all of it. There's also that. But I didn't dislike the game. I think the game seems to be very interesting, though. It also seems to me that it's one of those that is driven by a lot of endings. And most of them probably like these, you know, the bad ones. But I think it's like it's cool. I don't actually know what is the price of this. Okay, for us it's like 15 euros. But from what I've been seeing, I think they are usually less expensive for you in the US. Like when it's like 15 in here, it's probably like $12 in there or something like that. I've been kind of like noticing that, and it seems interesting for the price at all. It seems interesting. So it's a pity. I wanted to meet the other guy. In fact, I think the other guy would be like the most interesting one. Oleander, the merchant guy, whatever. Yeah, I thought he was like, for me, he was probably like the most pretty one, more than the priest. It's a pity I couldn't find him. I don't actually know what type of personality he would have, though. But that's it, and I hope next time I can bring you another thing. Today we're going to stay in here because I have other things to do. But thank you very much for being in there. I'm going to leave the link in the description as usual for you to play the demo for yourself or buy the game as you like. So that's it, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much. See ya.